last but not least, on our highlights of great companies in Arizona that are building diverse and inclusive workforces. So Jasmine, thank you so much for joining us. We have one more highlight here for today. And so Jasmine, would love for you to introduce yourself and share a little bit about your organization.
Yes, thank you for having me. So my name is Jasmine Vaughn. I am the recruiting coordinator here at BlueCross BlueShield. I've been with the organization for 9 years, but I have been all over. But I've been a staffing specialist officially since December 2022. So we are a Arizona-based health insurance company, and we have been around for over 80 years. We offer, Medicaid, Medicare, group, and individual insurance plans. And we currently celebrated our 2 million member enrollment this year. So we are going to celebrate that April 20th.
Wow.
Yes, 2 million.
Awesome.
And then I'm happy to announce that we have opened our first doctor's office. It's called Persano. We opened that on January 1st for just our employees and of course our family members who enrolled into our plans. And then we're going to open 3 more locations around the valley. And then in 2024, we're going to open it up to our 2 million members. So we're just trying to we're like the test dummies.
That's
to make
awesome,
sure we can get all the kinks out. So yeah.
Yes, understood. Yeah. So knowing that you're opening some new facilities, some new doctors' offices, what types of roles are you all hiring for in your booth today?
So we have a total of 75 positions, and we do have 6 recruiters. So we're all assigned to our own positions. So I'm going to speak about mine that I'm an expert in. We have facility operations lead position. That's actually going to be the one that's a maintenance person that's going to be at the Persano locations and help, making sure, each office is running efficiently. And then we have a payroll HRS analyst, provider relations coordinator, an underwriter, client reporting analyst, finance product owner, internships, programs that we have. We have customer service positions that we have throughout the year. We have a lot going on. So the 75 positions doesn't count for customer service. Customer service alone, first quarter was 80 positions. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's awesome. So the response there is go check out the booth because there's definitely something for everyone, it sounds like. So that's awesome. So yep. I think BlueCross BlueShield, so I'll just say personally, great organization. So for those of you who do not know, this is an organization that definitely values its employees. And so Jasmine, would love for you to share a little bit about why and, what is oh, goodness gracious. This is definitely my last one because now I'm doing the tongue twisters. What about diversity, equity, and inclusion? What's the focus for BlueCross BlueShield? What do you all do?
So, it's important that we create a culture of inclusion and eliminate bias of any kind, because we all know discrimination and racism is real. So it's important that we have, perspective of diversity within our organization, because it requires, self-awareness. It broadens our knowledge and enables perception throughout the eyes of others. So if everyone is like-minded people, it can potentially cause harm. So what we've done so far, and actually I've signed up for a class yesterday of just to have an understanding of more of diversity. Microaggression is actually the topic of discussion yesterday. So I've actually learned something on there. Compliments cannot always mean a true compliment. It can actually offend someone depending on their culture. So I appreciate having these classes that they offer throughout the year, because it brings awareness. And yesterday I was just like, oh, I think I've done that. Oh my gosh. So it's just really important for us to just be self-aware, and we want to, include everyone. We don't want to, discriminate anyone of any kind or be biased, unconscious bias of any kind either,
Absolutely. No, I know you all do a ton of education, and I know Angela
Yeah.
from One Community, Janine, they have done some stuff with your teams as well to help them with some of these topics. So I think it's just a critical piece that you have that continuing education around diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. It's not
Yes.
just a one and done, it's ongoing. And obviously you have a population that's very diverse that you're serving. So being able to really relate to those different groups, making sure you're being inclusive, making sure you're not saying something that might be culturally insensitive just without knowing.
Right.
So those are all great things that, I'm glad microaggressions is a topic that you all are focused on, because I think a lot of people are probably in the same boat where it's, I didn't know that wasn't something I should say. So tell me, when you think about job seekers, and obviously we have job seekers listening in right now, what are some tips from a career perspective that you'd give to job seekers to help them really highlight their skills to employers?
So, that is a really good question. So like we do like on our career page, we do have a page where it just, talks about, our culture. We're all over, social media as well. We're heavily involved in the community as far as promoting, health within our, or improving quality of life and things like that, inspiring health. I think as far as, job seekers, I would say, after watching our career page or after watching our social media outlets, I think job seekers should ask themselves, does this fit my mission, vision, and values? And then also too, during like the interview process, they can ask questions, how does the company support individual career goals and professional development? How do you rate your work-life balance? What do you do in the community? Things like that.
I think those are all, those are all great questions. And I think they're definitely something that, so many job seekers, all of us, I think, included on this call, are folks that want to be working for an impact-driven organization that does align to your values. And that's something that, I always tell folks to highlight is look at the values of the organization. And our last highlighted organization mentioned also not just the, hey, what's on the wall as their values, but also what are they doing day in and day out from a volunteer perspective, from an education, from a career development, all of those things. And so you highlighted so many of those pieces that I think are just critical for job seekers to be asking, which is awesome. So when you think about the specific programs, you talked about kind of training, workshops, education, that kind of thing, but what are some other programs that you have in place to create an inclusive environment for your employees?
Well, we do have DEI council and affinity groups. The type of affinity groups that we do have is, Hispanic, Latino affinity groups, veterans, African Americans, Asians, women, LGBTQ. Sorry about that. So, we definitely have organizations within, or we definitely have affinity groups and, our DEA council, within BlueCross BlueShield. And what I actually appreciate with this is, they have events throughout the year that can talk about, for instance, we have two. We had an event to make salsa. While they're making salsa, they were talking about the history of salsa making and why that it was such a huge, a huge pillar in Hispanic community. And then we had another event about African American, and of course about that history as well. So I think by having, different events within BlueCross BlueShield, it just brings, again, awareness, but it also raises or gives the opportunity for employees to ask those tough questions, just so they can gain understanding as to why something may be sensitive for other groups and things like that. So, but I am happy to announce that, we were recognized for #1 in diversity programs by this Arizona Capital Times in 2022. So I think that shows a lot when it comes to our initiatives and how much we put into just spreading that education for different groups, to make everyone feel included.
Awesome. Why do you stay at Blue Cross Blue Shield?
You know what? I stay with Blue Cross Blue Shield because, I've been there for 9 years. Initially, I didn't know what I wanted to do. But what I appreciated with each manager that I did have, they treated us like family. It's really the people that is keeping me with Blue Cross Blue Shield. If something's personal going on in your life, they're willing to just step up and be like, I'm here for you. What can we do? What can we do? Like today, management said, okay, because we all talked about like what we were doing today. Oh, I have a career event. Da, da, da. And the first thing is, how can I be there to support you? That's what we always hear. And I just like, we just feel supported. So that's really what's keeping me here at Blue Cross. I
love that answer. I'm happy that that's the answer that you gave, because I think that's such a critical piece. Like being supported, knowing that people have your back, that they're making sure you're good, that they're checking in on you, all of those things that you just mentioned, it makes your environment, it makes your world totally different from what, you might be experiencing to other places. So I love that.
Absolutely.
The last question is really when a job seeker is looking for an organization, what are the questions that they should be asking during the interview to assess the values, the culture of the organization? What are questions that you would recommend they ask, or things that they should check in on?
Well, before the interview, I do recommend, doing their research. So when they do come in and ask a question, they can ask about like the dynamic of the current role. How many people are in that current role? Why did that person, or so say if it's a backfill, why did that person leave? Was there, is there anything that did the last person, struggle with? How do you, and then they can even be straightforward. Describe your organizational culture. And we can talk about it, things like that. So I think doing their research first, and then presenting any questions that they may have is helpful.
Awesome. So folks, definitely go check out the Blue Cross Blue Shield, 75,000 million jobs that are open. No, just 75 plus.
Yes.
And they are ready and waiting for your questions, for your resumes, all that good stuff. Jasmine, thank you for joining us. Any last words you'd like to share with the folks that are listening in?
I just thank you for this opportunity, and I look forward to seeing you guys' resume.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, Jasmine, thank you so much. And again, folks, go check out the Blue Cross Blue Shield virtual booth, and we will see you all soon. Take care.
Take care. Bye.